What's up YouTube, it's Matthew here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why you should start a wholesale real estate business during the market recession. What constitutes a recession, according to the government, is 2 consecutive quarters of negative real GDP. So essentially everything that we buy is calculated, and that's essentially what GDP is. And if we have 2 consecutive quarters where those numbers are going down, that's technically a recession. And most people are estimating that we're already in that recession. Now, the official number for second quarter hasn't officially came out, but there has been some really legit estimates that recently came out. And so what about real estate investing? What about wholesaling? Is it a good time to start? In today's video, we're just going to break down why it is the perfect time to start wholesale real estate, and it may be your only chance to really have a competitive advantage and to really establish yourself in this industry. If you all like this video, be sure to comment down below, like this video of course, and then subscribe. A lot of you all watch my videos but are not subscribed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. The first reason why it's the perfect time to get into wholesaling real estate right now or during a recession is, number one, because of lower prices. Usually during a market recession, real estate prices usually go a little bit lower than their all-time highs. During a recession, the stock market and real estate market, they don't always correlate exactly the same, but what we can see is that there is definitely a softening with prices, with real estate prices over the past couple of months. Houses are going out of contract. People are not waiving contingencies like appraisals or inspections. People are not going $50,000 over asking price, and people are able to get a better deal in today's market, and more deals are coming down the pipeline. So what does this mean for you, for a wholesaler? Well, obviously you can go to a seller. Maybe earlier this year they were asking for a super high number for their property. Now during these fall and winter months coming up, they may be more willing to negotiate and talk with you about a different price. And the thing is that consumers are in the know more than ever. They are watching the news. They understand that, hey, prices are not as high as they used to be because of this, because of that, because of all these other factors. And so they understand what's going on. And so most likely they are willing to work with you. So when you're able to get a home for a lower price, it makes it more enticing for a cash buyer. So if you're able to get a house that earlier this year was $300,000 as is, and now October, November, you're able to get that same house for even like $250,000, $240,000. A buyer earlier this year may have been like, I don't know, I'm a little unsure about the economy and the market and everything like that. They may be more willing to entertain working on that property or a project around that price range. The other thing about lower prices, let's say you want to pivot into other arenas in the real estate game. Let's say you want to own rental properties, right? Let's say you wholesaled a few deals, or you want to get right into owning rental property. This is the perfect time to do it because now you have lower price, you can have better cash flow, better ratios, you can also have better tenants because renters are still looking for properties to live in. And so if you want to get started with rental property investing, get your property now. Use a private money lender, use a hard money lender, try to get a property as soon as you can, because just like what happened with the pandemic, more and more investors, they know what's going on. They can quickly bounce back when there are lower prices. I don't think recessions and depressions will last as long as they used to last because people are in the know. You saw how fast we bounced back when the pandemic happened. And I know that was a whole different animal, but you see how people were all like, wow, I can get this at 20% lower now that they have the internet, they have other things like that. Like 50 years ago, people didn't have this information. And so when they see the stock market is down 20-30% like it is right now, people are like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a history, a backlog of history necessarily, and I don't have information right in front of me to know this is an all-time low for this company, which I know is going to stay here forever. And so now we have this information, and sellers and buyers, they take advantage of this information. Buyers understand, hey, these are all-time lows. I'm going to buy 20 properties, and the price quickly jumps back up. And so your window of buying is even shortened even more, as opposed to back in the day when a recession will last a couple years. This may last like a year or two, or it may last even a few months. And then so you have to understand to establish yourself, get into business, so when the prices start rising again, you're already established, people know you, cash buyers know you, and they can work with you. And the next thing I want to talk about why this time is the perfect time for you to get started in wholesale real estate is that cash buyers have more money more than ever. I know of a lot of cash buyers who weren't buying deals, who weren't buying on deals. Like, I was reaching out to people saying, hey, I have this perfect deal. Like, I knew 6 months ago they would have bought, but now they're not buying. And they're telling me, hey, we are taking some money into reserves. We're holding some cash. When prices go even lower, we can just pounce on it and take advantage of these deals. And so when the recession starts to play out more into the real estate market, you're going to have cash buyers ready with a good amount of cash ready to buy your deals, right? And so there will be no short of a supply of buyers during that time, right? They know, okay, now these prices are lower. They're 20-30% less than what they were 6 months ago. So I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to buy this property. I'm going to use it for appreciation, for depreciation, for all these different things that they need that property for. And so they have more cash. And the thing is, like, with interest rates going higher, that actually helps people who actually hold their money in the banks, right? Because they are getting more of a return because the interest rates are higher, right? So if you have your money in bonds or in other securities that are affected by higher interest rates that are not like as volatile assets like stocks or crypto or anything like that, you have hedge funds and people keeping their money there because the interest rates are higher. And so that gives them more cash to deploy when that time comes when they want to buy properties. The other thing with recessions is that the government controls so much, you all. So if the recession goes even lower than what we think, if prices get even more steep than what the government intended it to be, they're going to push out so many incentives for investors to start buying properties. They're going to give out new loans with different terms and everything like that. And then once again, buyers are going to have all these different tools, all these different resources to deploy and to make money. And so a cash buyer will be your best friend during the recession. They're going to have more cash. They're going to have better prices, better interest rates, and everything like that. And so they will buy your deals during a recession. The next and final thing I want to talk about why a recession is the perfect time for wholesalers to wholesale properties is because of the whole supply and demand. Obviously, during a recession, supply is usually a little bit higher and demand is lower. Does that make sense? So essentially, there are more things to buy than there are buyers to buy those things. And so that pushes prices low, like we talked about, lower prices. With that, with the supply and demand ratio or whatnot formula, there are more options for you as a wholesaler, right? Now, more and more sellers are coming on the market, right? Now you can pick and choose what deal works for you. As opposed to earlier this year, you had to be like, hey, I need to get whatever I can get my hands on, right? I had cash buyers talking to me about, hey, 6 or a year ago, I would never pay this much for a manufactured home. Now I'm under contract for this price on a manufactured home, right? They were just trying to get anything to get into a real estate deal. Now, when during a recession, there are going to be way more options for them to choose. And so having options is incredible as a wholesaler, and it's great for your cash buyers. The other thing with supply and demand that I want to mention is that, at the end of the day, we do not know what's going to happen with the market, right? We don't know how it's going to play out. Yes, we see signs of this or of that, but we don't know. And so one conundrum we may run into is that you may not necessarily see supply go higher, right? Because there are supply issues. And so even in the real estate market, the supply of housing may still remain low. And so prices may remain higher, and we may be in this stagflation where, the market is going down, stocks are going down, the market as a whole, GDP is going down, but prices are still super high. Groceries are still super high. Gas is still super high. House prices are still super high. So it's like this weird thing where, yes, GDP is going low, still high, and we're in this like that may be the case, and that may be more difficult, but I think in those scenarios, there are still opportunities for people to find deals, and just who are either like a tired, get rid of their property because what's going to happen in the market and they're just trying to get rid of their property or other things like that. And so don't worry, I think, and during the recession, whether it's a stagflation type of recession or no more recession, you will find deals. All right, you all, hope you all enjoyed this video on how to get rich, how to make money, why you should start a wholesaling real estate business during a recession, during 2022's recession, 2023 recession. Make sure you all like this video, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know you all's thought on this upcoming market and economy. Do you even think we're going to actually head into a recession? Let me know down below. All right, talk to you all later.